Alright, hello everyone. This is Ryumba. You can also call me Richard. And this is part 4 of my Samurai Jack Battle Through Time Master Samurai video walkthrough series. We are going to the 4th level now, and we shall continue from there. And I do apologize for a couple of things, namely because it's been about a month since I've done this video series, and I've been distracted namely with Ninja Gaiden and school, namely because of the mods that have been coming up by Fiend Hayabusa for Ninja Gaiden. So I do apologize for that, and I do apologize for some skipping in the video. There's nothing I could really do about it, it's just namely OBS, and we will get right to it. Alright, so it has been a while since I have played this game, so I don't exactly remember what happens during the video. But I do know that we do fight a new enemy type, and they're called the Dust Zombies. The Dust Zombies can be very tricky, because despite them being zombies, they're actually very fast, they're very mobile, and they're very aggressive. One thing to note about them is that try not to launch them, because you'll see later on that they have a spin move that they go up in the air. And you'll see that when I do launch one of the zombies, I'm going to lose about more than 3/4 of my life. That's how much damage they do. Their main weakness generally are fists and I believe mace weapons. So do be mindful of that. It will cause a little bit more hit stun on them and will generally flinch more often. See, look at that. Look at that damage. It's more than 3/4 of my life. There, I get the parry. I show that light attack. Luckily, even if you do take damage, there is a health drop when spring well over there. So right here is another little location. A lot of this level does have a lot of little diversions that are optional areas that you can go into. One thing to note about the zombies is that they do go underground and they do have like a weird grab attack. And if you see that like little green circle around you, that means you can't move. You can still do actions and the like, but you can't move out of that area unless you get hit. So basically, you're kind of in that sort of situation. If you want, you can try and avoid it with like a dodge or even a parry, although the parry is a little too unreliable because they could like change their timing. Right here for these two chests, you'll get piercing arrows and you'll get a leaf spring bow. Yep. And you want to make sure that you save up as many projectiles as you can for the boss, because the boss's weaknesses are projectile based, namely piercing arrows, and I would say reapers. Reapers are especially very important, and the thing that sucks in this level is that there's no beetle drones, so you're going to have to really save up on your beetle drone explosives. I forget what they're called exactly. The reapers, that's what they're called. So. Anyway, here's some more dust zombies. Should be a short little skirmish, nothing too crazy to worry on about. Look at that damage right there. About half my life. Get the parry right there. And then we get the skeleton warriors, the sword types. I believe they have broadswords. Oh, falchions, excuse me. And they are quite good. I go back into the menu to do some weapon switching because I want to get his other falchion. And falchions are very good. They're stronger than your standard magic sword, but they are very easy to break. But luckily, because I have explained before, you do get Bushido Spirit very quickly by breaking weapons. So it is definitely worth it to break weapons. And right there we just got some Reapers, which are very important. I would definitely save those up. Reapers are also very strong against the zombies, but I would not recommend using them at this point. Right here I'm just using the falchion. One thing to note about the sword weapon is that there are kick moves, and they do count as fist weapons, so yes, they do count as a weakness blow to certain enemy types, which is very interesting. Here, I'm just comboing the zombie, nothing too crazy. See, look how fast and mobile they are. It's a little ridiculous. They're zombies, you'd think they wouldn't be, but they are. here, and now we have the Skeleton Warriors again. I believe switch up a weapon. I don't know what I was trying to do. Note that enemies with different cosmetics do have different defense values, and they also have slightly different damage values as well, so be careful. Throw. Right here, I'm just waiting for the parry, so I can get some health back. Did. Not a lot, but I got some. Now, I do believe in this area, you will meet Rothschild. Right here, I'm just trying to see what I can upgrade right now. I'm just seeing, really, the skill tree and how far it goes. See what I could get. I think I get this one. Expert Archer, which allows you to do more damage, which is really good, especially for this section of the game. There's a Corrupted Kalmon right there. Right over here, there should be a weapon, the Onayari, I believe it is. It should be a spear-type weapon. Yep. I believe right here is a little passageway where you meet the Rothschild. Luckily, there are no enemies here. I believe he gives you a ruby? Yep. And now, if you destroy all the gravestones here, you're going to get another secret chest. It's not too important. You get it's either a guardian potion or like a power potion. It's one of those two. While it isn't like super important, it is nice for the achievement. And it's also nice because I personally never used them, so you could sell them for money if you so choose. Guardian potion, yep, I was correct on the first one. On the corner. Make sure you destroy all the interactables in the environment, because you could get health like that, namely money and skill fire, which is very important. So you can upgrade Jack as much as you can. Right here shouldn't be anything too crazy. I forget what's in the chest here. Gold, which is always important. I just paused right there to check how much gold I have. Excuse me. My phone keeps going off and I don't know why. Alright, and you see the footage keeps freezing. There's nothing I could do about it. It's namely OBS's fault. Because I have other things running in the background. It just freezes up the game a little bit. I believe Scotsman also gives you a ruby. There you go. And right here, it's just a little section where you can just kind of relax and cool off a bit, you know, from all those skirmishes and shit. You know, just one of those sections of Samurai Jack, where he's just walking through a field, just, you know, taking in the atmosphere in the background and all. Which I've always appreciated in this game, personally. Feels very Samurai Jack. Some people think it's fruitless and just kind of pointless, but for Samurai Jack, I think it's very appropriate. Right here, more freezing, unfortunately. I think this was actually the game. For some reason, it was trying to load in the other area without actually having a loading prompt. It usually doesn't happen like that. Right, so right here should only be 3 zombies, nothing too crazy. One thing to note is that if you do switch weapons, you can't immediately block, which is kind of silly of this game. Wish you could just immediately block if you switch weapons. You can do basically any other action. Strange. You can attack and roll and all that, but you can't block. Which maybe they thought it was a bit too overpowered. I think it's a bit of a stupid design choice though. Right here will be one of the first sections where you use the bow in order to access secret areas that you normally can't. I would recommend using your regular bow. Your arrows, excuse me. Just use your regular arrows, because they're not super effective against the boss of this area, but they're very good for the puzzles of this area, if you want to call them puzzles, rather. Here you get Skill Fire, Bushido Spirit, you get some money. I forget what's in here, I think it's Bushido Spirit. Skill Fire, my bad. 400 is still really good. Do a quick pause to check how much Skill Fire and Bushido Spirit I have. Just see what I can unlock, and right now I can't unlock anything. go to my weapons, and I believe I switch out to the fists. Yep. Because you want to get as many weapons as you can. So in order for you to break them to get Bushido Spirit, that'll be a level up. I know I'm sounding quite redundant here, but I think it's important to drive home the point. You need a lot of this stuff to get through the game. The Ender right there is extremely powerful and knocks down. It's really good. The XXX combo is really good. I forget what it's called. It has a name. I believe all the moves in this game have names. I believe. Or at least some of them do. Not entirely sure. Now, this is a new enemy type. This is a skeleton warrior with an axe. He's very slow. He has a lot of points where he'll block. But he isn't very evasive like another enemy type that we'll be coming in counter with soon enough. So you get the axe. Camera's kind of freaking out a little bit, but that's okay. My phone keep going off, jeez. Alright, so we'll just have another little diversion here. Looking at what I can upgrade. Alright, range weapon capacity is what I upgrade. And this is one of the most important ones. Skill Blaze, it allows you to get more skill fire. I believe that will be one of the next skills I do unlock. Because every little bit helps. And I think the reason why I had longer, the reason why I got the larger ranged weapon capacity, I think it's for the next upcoming skill. I'm not entirely sure, I don't remember. Here's Rothschild, he's going to give you hot water. This section can actually be quite challenging if you don't kill any of the zombies here. So I would recommend using a ranged weapon and killing as many zombies as you can, ideally all of them. Because if you do open up the chest over there, it's just going to have a bamboo staff. And there's going to be skeleton warriors that appear, and the gate will go down, and you're going to have to be fighting 8 enemies. And at this point in the game, you're not going to be able to handle all that very well. I wouldn't recommend it. So I'd say do as much damage as you can to these zombies, at the very least. Right here, I'm just kind of cycling through all my ranged weapons. And as you can see, ranged weapons are actually decent against them and cause quite a bit of hit stun. Shurikens are actually quite effective here. And I'm just like, fuck it, I don't want to spend any more time on them, so I just open the chest. Said bamboo staff, the gate down, and you'll be fighting a bunch of skeleton warriors. Now there's the new enemy type, the spear variant. Spear variant is the most agile of the 3, and they're very evasive. You have a lot of long range attacks, although they are a little bit slow, not as slow as the axe wielding ones, but they can also be very dangerous. So just be careful. Be mindful of their attacks. Right here, I get grabbed right here. You can shake out of like grabs like that in this game. I think that's like the only one from a regular enemy that's like that. Right here, I just used the Kai attack from this because it has an AoE effect, and I didn't want to die. You will get Kakai fire as you play through the level, so no need to worry about it too much, and I wouldn't say you need it for the boss, so just be mindful of that. I do believe you need at least 20 piercing arrows and at least 10 reapers in order to beat the boss. So be careful to not spend too much ammunition on enemies. Let's save the boss. Right here's a Bushido Spirit. What was important, I just did a quick pause to see how much I had. And I get the spring well. Luckily I had full health going in, so I didn't touch it and pick it up. Right here should be the samurai. I believe I get reapers here, because I have enough money. And I do sell some items, I believe, because I have a bunch of duplicates and I don't need them. One thing that is silly about this game is that if you do go to repair, it's the only way you could check weapon durability. for every weapon. I don't know why they don't allow you to do that when it comes to just pausing the menu to see how much durability they have. They just don't allow it. I don't know why. Oh, the heart bracelet right here. This is a very important item. It allows you to get more Kikai fire, and I believe it increases the rate by either 5 or 10%. I forget which one. Man, I'm taking a while to buy stuff. Heart bracelet. What I equip. Oh, I don't buy any Reapers. Surprising. It has been a while since I did read this. I looked at this. Alright. I don't know what I'm doing over here. And then I just kind of continue on, I guess. Now right here in this skirmish is going to be a bunch of one-hit shot enemies. So just do running dashing guard, light. We'll take care of them very quickly. You are airborne for a brief moment, although I wouldn't worry about it too much. It's not quite like a regular launcher in this game, where you'll be suspended in the air for a very long time, so you won't get hit by their spin attack like right there. Here I'm just picking up all the items. There is one I do miss, and it's the money right over there, and I don't know why I missed it. Probably just didn't notice. Somehow, I'm usually very vigilant on picking up money like that. And right here is another like kind of small 2D section. There will be about 4 enemies coming up near these gravestones that are in your way. Excuse me, 3. You know, just mash that light attack button. Nothing too much to worry about. With the fists, just mash that light attack. And the footage is freezing up again for some reason. I don't know why, other than OBS being a pain in the ass when it comes to running in the background. Alright, and I believe the samurai shop is coming up. And there will be a fight with surprise Damongo. It will play out much like the same fight. The same first fight, excuse me. Alright, I do buy piercing arrows, and I do buy Reapers here, because I figured he would be coming up again. Alright, and here we go with the next Damongo fight. Alright, so I had to edit this a couple of times because I had, unfortunately, some editing issues because I'm not very good with Adobe Premiere. And as you can see, I'm just hitting Damongo a lot, and then I'm going for his minions. And if you forget, you'll do very minimal damage when you're hitting Damongo by himself, but if you're able to kill the minions and hit the black orbs, there. My footage is freezing, unfortunately, but you'll see you do a significant amount of damage to him, and you'll be able to stun him. Excuse me, on that front. You'll be able to do a little bit more damage by stun. Not by too much. I believe this fight goes a lot cleaner than the last couple attempts I had. As you can see, those areas are blocked off, so I can't get the money. One thing to note is that even if you are hitting him, he'll still summon the minions, which is kind of silly. At the same time, not really, because you have to hit him with the black orb to do massive damage to him. Well, not massive, like a good chunk of damage. Just trying to survey my area where the enemy is right there. Knock him down with the Y. And again, OTG him. And if I didn't explain this before, but OTG means off the ground. It's a little weird for its terminology in this case, but I'm hitting him off the ground per se. And I'm kind of like going into the stagger animation for the enemies, and I'm able to grab them. That's why that works. Alright, and right here will be the next little bit, which is probably tougher than the Damongo fight itself because of the giant hammer enemy. Spear guys and sword guys right here. And right here, because I'm so sick of this section, I just start chucking Reapers. If you don't have a lot of Reapers, I wouldn't recommend doing this. You'll need, I believe, at least a minimum of 10. And one of the reasons why the Reapers are so good is because they explode and they cause splash damage. And look at that. He's actually getting stunned by the Reapers. Very, very good. here, he dies. Falchion is about to break, as you can see it glowing. You also get audio cues for when it's about to break. And right here, I'm just doing a little bit of a cleanup of surveying the area, seeing how much Shadow I have. And the next one I get is Skill Blaze, which will increase how much skill fire we do get. The next one will be increased Kikai attack, which means you'll have 2 flames at the bottom left on your life bar, rather than just 1, which is very important. Okay, so we get gold right there, just pausing to see how much gold I have. Some more interactable here, more skill fire, and luckily the skill fire, skill blaze, and the bracelet of heart do stack, so you'll be getting a little bit more skill fire than you would usually. Alright, so for some reason my computer was freezing again, probably because they had a lot of things running in the background, which I probably should have closed. That's okay, as long as you can still see the footage fine and see the gist of it, it should be okay. Right here I believe is a ruby. We get a lot of rubies in this level. I believe there's like 4 of them. Here I'm just kind of doing work, surveying the area, see what I missed, see what I didn't miss, and there's not really much in this area, so we go back on the straight path. And again, my computer is freezing, which is very annoying, and I do apologize for that. Luckily, I think it's just loading in enemies, so nothing too important. Not like it's skipping combat sequences. I believe the Falchion will break during this fight. Yeah, it's close to breaking right here. As you can see, I'm just trying to control the enemy crowd, trying not to do too many launchers, or even if I do, I usually end up with a Helm Splitter, so the zombies don't hit me with their aerial spin attack. And right here, there will always be a chest popping up right here. I believe it has Bushido Spirit. After that fight, that chest will always appear. No special requirements for it. Game freezing up again. You have Bushido Spirit, 300 of it. Just pausing to see how much I have, and it looks like I have about 600? Almost 7? Right here is another little area for the bow. And instead of 3 little statues, there's 5. Ooh, such variety. Luckily, it's nothing difficult. I don't want to think too much for my puzzles when it comes to my action game. You know what I mean? One thing to note about when weapons are breaking, I believe if you hit your weapon up against any sort of like destructible interactable, it won't actually break. It's only when you're fighting enemies that the weapon will break, which is an interesting choice of design. I personally don't think it's the best. I wish it would break, but it doesn't. It at least with melee weapons, it doesn't. If it's projectile weapons, all you need to do is just shoot them and it'll break on its own. Right in right here is a big skirmish, and there's going to be a new enemy type. It's going to be the Shinobi, who is right over there on the right. He did not die from the Kikai attack because I wanted to show you like what kind of attacks he has. Right there, he has a stinger-esque move. You'll notice that he'll disappear a lot. He also has like a little 5-hit combo. 4, excuse me. And as you can see, the kick is unblockable with the last strike. Luckily, you can counter that unblockable, much like every other unblockable in the game, which is very nice. I don't know why I go to the little record pause menu to see how much I've done in the game. I'm just seeing what skills I can unlock right now. See if I can unlock anything. I guess the club combo, which even though I'm not using the combo, the reason why I unlocked it is for the next skill, which is instant guard, and we'll get more into that as we do unlock it. I don't want to explain it right now. I don't want to explain too much. I don't want information overload on you. Right here is the daughter of the Scotsman. She gives you a haggis, which is a first for the level. Right on that. Right here's another small little 2D section of a bunch of zombies. You're also going to get spear guys in this section. Section goes on for quite a bit, but nothing too egregious. And again, nothing to really go on about this section. So, alright, right here will be some spear guys and some zombies. And again, I'm just using the fist weapon, trying to weaken him down so I could get the spear weapon from him. Equip back to the fist so I could get more spear weapons. Switch back to the falchion so I can break the weapon to get the Shadow Spirit. Using the XXXY combo to get some of that invincibility. Breaks and I get the Shadow Spirit. I think I paused to get... Yep, to equip the broadsword. It doesn't do as much damage as the falchion, but it does about the same amount of damage as the magic sword. And I switch to the samurai fist so I can get his weapon. There you go. Just seeing what I can switch to. And I switch back to the fist, switching out the spear weapon. I forget what it's called. The Yasasho Yari, that's what it's called. And I switch it from the axe, because the axe is quite slow and I don't have any sort of use for it because I do already have the King's Ancient Mace, which is the most powerful hammer weapon in the game. Right here I'm using the XXY combo, which is a pretty good string. It does give you some invincibility. And as you upgrade it, you're able to do more thrusts by mashing the strong attack button. And on parry, it's an absolute DPS monster. It's quite good. This isn't exactly the best weapon to handle zombies, but it's the weapon I'm using just so I could show it off a little bit. And I do want to break its durability down a little bit. I'm just knocking him down with the XXY combo. Just trying to organize them so that I could hit all of them at once, like that. It kind of helps. Not too much, but it does help a little bit. Alright, so let's check the pause menu, see how much I have. And there will be one little diversion left. It should be in that little tomb right there. Right there is a corrupted Kamon. I believe there will be another one coming up in the tomb. And for some reason, there's not many enemies in this section. There's only about 5 or 6 or so. And I don't know why they placed so few enemies when it comes to that little diversion. I couldn't tell you. Alright, here we are, going into the tomb. Here you'll see a little small Aku stone, and there's like 2 zombies here. They're armorless zombies, so they go down fairly quickly. Knock them down with the dashing guard light. There you go. Just hit the Aku statue here. The door opens, there's the chest. As soon as you open the chest, there'll be another Aku statue up on the ceiling, and you'll need jump good to reach that. Which, at this point in the game, you should have. If you don't, then I don't know how to help you there. There is a potion of power. Nothing that you need, really, because you can get red and blue Dama just by fighting enemies. Right there is the second Aku statue. Here are 3 enemies, 1 skeleton warrior and 2 zombies. They don't have a lot of armor, so that means they have lower health, so they should go down. And there you go, right there. Right here you can see I can't reach unless I have jump good. Even though it looks like I'm still missing, but the game is generous enough with its hitboxes that allows you to hit it at that range. So it's quite nice. Right here is another chest. I forget what's in here. Gold. 4,000 gold, which is a lot. Right here should be... I believe she gives you a ruby? She gives you something. Yeah, ruby, yeah. You have like 5 rubies in this level. It's quite crazy. And then right here should be a corrupted Kalman. In order for you to get the secret ending. I believe right here is another ruby. I thought it was Bushido Spear. No, you get like more rubies than that. Jeez. What pacing. And right here is only one skeleton warrior. I don't know why. They just thought having one skeleton warrior would be good enough to protect that ruby, but they did. Yeah. And right here should be the end of this little diversion. This will be the last one that the game has for this level. Right, pick up the spring well in order to get the health. And we will be going through this portal just momentarily. I'm just getting a skill fire right here, seeing how much I have. And right there, a little cutscene will trigger. I'm just skipping it for now. And you just go through the portal and you appear right on the other side. I don't know why they had it like that. They just did. They couldn't just help build a bridge, I guess, or something. That would have been more interesting, but I guess teleportation through portals is neat too. We just picked up another corrupted Kalman right there. That should be the last one of the stage. And this section right here is probably the toughest in the level. And it's not because of the first skirmish, it's just going to be skeleton warriors that take one hit to die. But it will be the second wave of enemies with the shinobi enemy. I believe there will be up to 5 of them. And they're quite challenging. They throw a lot of projectiles. They're very evasive. They break out of your combos a lot, and they take a lot of hit. This section you don't have to worry about. Just do running guard light. You should be okay. If you want, you can grab them to grab their weapons, but I wouldn't recommend it because there's just so many. And right here, what I basically do is I just spam running rushing guard light, the hammer, that has invincibility, it knocks down, it does quite a good chunk of damage. And it's just nice and cheap and easy. You could kind of do it with a lot of the enemies in this game, but I'll show you how to do it a little bit more proper. One thing to note about the shinobis is that they're at low life. You can't grab them. They're actually a pretty complicated enemy. They actually have a lot of attacks. They have a lot of strings. They can also make shadow clones of themselves, which luckily have significantly less life. If you do kill the shinobi that spawned the clones, they will all die with him. They have thrusting attacks like that they can do in the middle of combos. They disappear a lot. Here I'm just using the high attack just so I can get all of the shinobi in the area. I try to grab him, but he disappears. They're very trolly. But luckily even they falter to the hammer weapons. Sorry for the footage freezing right there. And right there, he summoned shadow clones, I believe, or just teleported. I'm not too sure. I don't see any of the other shadow clones, which is strange. Usually when he does that animation, there are shadow clones. I guess not. One thing that's good about this is that if you didn't pick up the spring well from before, there will be another spring well as you go through the portal. But right here, just in case, I just want to showcase that you can go back to the little area right here. get the spring well, get full health, and in case you took even more damage, there will be another one as you go through the portal. And right here, I'm just switching to my piercing arrow. I have 40 piercing arrow. I thought you only needed 20. I guess you need more than that. And right here is the boss, the witch hag. So just immediately start shooting. She will summon enemies. Just don't even focus on the enemies at all. Just shoot her as much as you can. For some reason, my controller, I think, disconnected, and I was trying to figure out why. But we're all good. I'm gonna wonder why. Because my bow breaks. Probably why. Yeah, I think I do have another one, luckily. Yeah, luckily I do. So I just keep spamming the arrows. Just dodging as much as I can. Just jump and shoot like you're playing... like you're just strafing in Doom or something. This boss is probably my least favorite in the game. I think she's really uninteresting as a boss. She has a lot of weird attacks that have invincibility on them. She's just not enjoyable. It's hard to hit. She's always going to summon enemies. Just be careful, because sometimes she will block the shots, and there's nothing that you can really do about it. Right here, I switched to regular arrows for some reason, which you really shouldn't, because they do very little damage. What you should switch to is the Reaper. Even though it's technically not a weakness of hers, they do a lot of damage. And you want to be more careful with the Reaper because they have more limited range. They could actually arc downwards. So you have to be very careful. And right there you go. You beat the boss. Thank God. I hate this boss so much. And this will be the conclusion to Stage 4, the Graveyard Cemetery. And let's just see what rank I got and how many deaths I had. Just to prove to you that I didn't do this all in one go. I died 6 times, got an A rank. And yeah, that's the end of the level. And I just want to say, I do apologize for the huge delay in videos. I've just been a little busy with school, and I've also just been distracted by Ninja Gaiden. Hopefully the next video will come out sooner than later, and I thank you for watching this video, and you take care now.